was supposed to read this to Miss Little's class on Mother's Day, but sadly that can't happen, but this is the next best thing. So, this is Mars Needs Moms. It's a tongue twister. So, mothers. Milo often wondered what was so special about them. Anyone could see that they were giant, summer-stealing, child-working, perfume garden goblins. There was hardly anything special about them. Mothers were also bellowing broccoli bullies and carrot-cuddling cuckoos. Nothing very special about them, thought Milo. Mothers were slave-driving, trash-mashing, rubbish-odor ogres. Nothing special about them. And mothers were thundering, humorless tyrants. This afternoon, Milo's mother missed what was funny about sister tinting. Up to bed now, she thundered. Tyrant, barked Milo. No supper, said his mother. And she left his room. Milo yelled, I sure don't see what's so special about mothers. She paused when he said this and closed the door very, very slowly. Exhausted from his fit, Milo fell very, very asleep. Milo slept so deeply that he never heard the distant roar of rocket engines in the night sky beyond his window. He never saw the tongue of orange flames light up the nearby hills. The spaceship landed just about outside of town. They'd arrived, but who? Mutant raiders! Worse, mutant raiders with a big net. They climbed down from their starship and gazed over the town below, looking for the most marvelous treasure that could never ever be found on Mars, a treasure called moms. Ooh, they thought, to nab just one of those. Any mother would do. They didn't have mothers on Mars, you know. Martians grow motherless, from the ground, like potatoes. The raiders had some early mom nabbing trouble. Bolder action would be needed. Milo awoke to strange sounds down the hall. He peeked around the door to see his mother being carried past the bathroom by 3 martins the color of jelly beans. That, he thought, is something you don't see every day. Milo chased the Martin raiders and their now awake prize out of the house and down the streets and into the hills and up to the spaceship, which roared into the night sky. Milo suddenly wondered why he would want to be dangling miles above Earth chasing this carrot-cuddling mother. He decided to figure it out later. Milo found himself locked in the bottom of the spaceship, so he put on a spare space helmet and curled up in a big corner, trying to stay warm. He slept as the ship sped towards the distant red planet. Milo awoke to find the spaceship still and quiet. The door was open, and suddenly he knew why Mars so badly wanted mothers. They needed driving to soccer and to ballet and to playdates, parks, and pizza, plus cooking and cleaning and dressing and packing lunches and bandaging boo-boos. They'd seen it in their telescopes. It was obvious. Mars needs moms. How perfectly, completely sensible of them, thought Milo, and he decided to go tell them just that. But he tripped. Down, down, down he went, landing very hard, but in one place. His helmet, not so much. Milo gasped and choked. As anyone knows, breathing Martian air is like breathing mustard. He sucked it in and instantly grew weak and dizzy, and things began to go dark. Milo was fading. He barely sensed someone approaching. He barely sensed the gentle hands place her own helmet over his head. Milo opened his eyes, and for the first time, he saw neither a broccoli bully or a slave-driving garden ogre. He didn't see a tyrant or a dictator or a weary driver to soccer games. Suddenly, Finally, he knew what was special about mothers. She looked at him, smiling, and said, "I love you to the end of the universe." And then she breathed in the terrible air, closed her eyes, and leaned on Milo, growing very still. The Martians watched, unmoving, confused. "Help her!" he yelled angrily. Then he added, "She's my mother!" Finally, the mighty mom nabbers of Mars understood. Their wonderful telescopes had seen many things about mothers down on Earth, but like certain little boys, they'd missed the best part. The Martians quickly fetched another helmet and hoped that it wasn't too late. They helped Milo carry his mom aboard the ship, which lifted all off for the long journey home. Her eyes remained closed as they soared through the stars. Milo would stay curled close to her all night. And he would be there when she woke up in the morning. Happy Mother's Day to all the wonderful mothers out there.